Good evening and welcome back to round number 2 between the Wolves Blue and the Williamsburg Yellow Jackets. So the Yellow Jackets did take the first round in that one, but Wolves Blue are back, and let's hope they can get the victory here in round number 2. This is a best of 3, so they will have to win the next 2 matches in a row if they hope to advance to the Final Four. Let's take a look here at our champ selection and see how the teams are doing.
As we start off immediately with Wolfe County, the first 2 bans for Wolfe County being Vladimir and Tarek. Definitely Vladimir being one of the bigger issues that last game that got that out. As we see from the Yellow Jackets going with Onassis, Cho'Gath, and Jack's ban. Again, those 3 very strong bans for the Yellow Jackets. Now go again with their last ban for Wolfe County, going with a Cassie ban. Now go for the first pick for the Yellow Jackets. Starting off with their top laner. Who'll be locking in Lucian for their ADC. Now go with the top laner for Wolfe County, who will be locking in Hovering Kaiser. Locks in the Kaiser for his ADC. I go with the jungler again for Wolfe County, who goes with locking in the Jarvan, a J4 pick for Wolfe County. I go with the jungler pick for the Yellow Jackets, who are hovering Yi, and they lock in Master Yi jungle. Now go with the mid lane pick, Kale. Kale lock in for the Yellow Jackets. We now go with the mid lane pick for Wolfe County, the last pick for the first wave of picks, as he goes with Silas again. That's the first wave of picks. Now we go with the second wave of bans, starting off with Wolfe County going with a brand ban. Meanwhile, we go with we go back to Yellow Jackets, who will be going with their first ban for the second wave. We're going with another Riven ban. Again, 4 bans focused primarily towards the top laner for Wolfe County. We now go with the last ban for Wolfe County. We'll be going with Tryndamere. Tryndamere was a good ban there for Wolfe County. Tryndamere was a big problem for him with the split pushing that he did last game. Just putting consistent pressure on that side lane definitely was a big problem for Wolfe County. So getting that out of the way definitely helps. As we now go with a York ban. Again, all 5 bans from the Yellow Jackets all focused towards the top lane. We'll now go with the ADC lock-in for Wolfe County, who will probably be picking their mid, as he picks Irelia. The Irelia lock-in for Wolfe County. That might actually be a lock-in for the mid laner for Wolfe County, and then Wolfe County's mid laner might have locked in Silas for the top lane. Because both champs have that the ability to play both. Both people can do that, but
We'll see here in just a minute.
we now go with the lock-in for the ADC for the Yellow Jackets, who will be locking in Rumble. And we now go with the last pick for the support for the Yellow Jackets, who will be locking in looks like a Braum. So Braum was open, unlike last game, so that he does manage to get Braum through. Braum and Lucian is a very strong bot lane combo, so Wolfe County will have to watch out for that. So now go with the last lock-in for Wolfe County, who will be locking in their support, who will be going with Alistar is open again, so Alistar maybe is his lock-in again, since he is going against a Braum, who's another tank. As he does lock in the Alistar again, another tank lock-in for Wolfe County. So those are the lock-ins between the two teams.
All right, so your starting lineup again here is the Wolves Blue Spring 2019. In the top lane, we have senior Cody Sargent. In the bot lane, running ADC, we have junior Cameron Caskey, and his support is junior Jeremy McKinney. In the jungle, we have junior Matt Riley, and in the mid lane, we have senior Brendan Bush. So that is your Wolves Blue Spring 2019. We want to also thank our esports sponsors this season: Appalachian Wireless, Mountain Telephone, Licking Valley Rural Electric, Farmers and Traders Bank of Campton, Whitaker Bank of Campton, and Sweetheart by Stephanie of Campton, Kentucky. So thanks to our esports sponsors this season. Back here to our champ select. We're getting ready to enter the 3-minute delay phase. So, Drew, what other insights do you have into this matchup?
Well, based on that last match, Wolfe County is definitely going to have to play a little bit more, communication-wise, have to be a little more team-oriented. The Yellow Jackets did get an advantage early game with those early Pantheon ganks, which did allow for people people such as like Vladimir to get that early lead. So
That changed the ghost at the last second.
yeah, so Wolfe County might have to play a little bit more, team-oriented to get that early lead for themselves. So. But between the individual lanes, it is going to be Irelia top lane, so I thought it was Irelia maybe mid. But Irelia top versus Rumble. Rumble is a pretty heavy aggro top lane. He can spam his flamethrower, which does a pretty heavy amount of damage. Irelia, however, is well known for being, pretty strong in the top lane as well. She has had some nerfs, but she is still a very reliant top laner to do a pretty good amount of damage. Between Jarvan and Master Yi, both are pretty gank-heavy junglers. Master Yi is pretty well run, known for having his late game just burst of damage with his ability to get off his alpha strike as well with his ultimate. Just a crazy amount of damage very fast.
Flip over there. Bang back.
So Jarvan, though, a little bit more team oriented with that, with his ultimate as well as that knock-up. Between two mid laners, Kale and Silas. Silas and Kale both melee range champions by their autos, but Kale does change level 6 when she has the ability to, after every 5 auto attacks, get that they turn into ranged autos. So Silas should be able to try and take as much early advantage as possible of Kale, but they might try and compensate for that by having Yellow Jackets getting camped pretty early with the Master Yi staying towards mid lane to try and get Kale an early advantage. Silas does have the potential to out-trade Kale with his ultimate ability, specifically being able to steal her ultimate and use it on himself or his teammates as well. So and between the ADCs, Lucian and Kai'Sa, both are pretty, really strong, burst-heavy ADCs, relying on their auto attacks. Kai'Sa should have the advantage with her passive. That just does a huge explosion of damage after every 4th auto attack. Between the supports, Braum and Alistar, both heavy tank CC supports, so matter of how they work well with their ADCs. Kai'Sa and Alistar Kai'Sa and Alistar combo working very well. About as well as the Lucian and Braum, but Lucian and Braum having, at this moment, being a little bit more of a popular support, or both more of a popular ADC support combo with just being pretty, successful. Between team fights, however, it's more or less a toss-up. Braum does have his knock-up. Rumble does have his ult, which is that row that'll drop down of rockets that does damage in it. Kale with her ultimate that make somebody invincible with a huge burst of damage. Although Wolfgang does have it as well. Irelia with her ultimate that can zone people. Alistar with his knock-up. You see Silas, if he can steal the right ultimate, he can take any of the ultimates from the other team. And Jarvan with his ultimate. So it'll be interesting. As we now go and swap over to the game. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Both teams have now loaded in. Wolfe County will be starting on red side this time, so they have the red bars above their heads. Both teams have loaded. Fountain has despawned. Everyone now moves to their respective roles. And this time, Wolfe County is not going to be, the Yellow Jackets are not going to be going for another early invade like they did last. Actually, they might be going for another early invade. Maybe. So they do look, no, they are playing a little more defensive than they did last time, not going for that early invade. We see silencing towards top side now, towards Pixel Brush. Rumble moving down towards his Pixel Brush as well. Actually moving towards his jungle camp. Gonna maybe watch that, go watch for that for his jungle. We see Kaiza now move towards bot side as well. Alistar sitting there. Wolfe County looking, again, playing about as defensive they were last game. We do see Lucian and Braum moving towards that bot side Pixel Brush, sorry. As he is going to go for maybe soloing the bear, soloing the for the first time. Actually, no, we see Wolfe County does drop, Jarvan does drop a ward in Pixel Brush there. As the minions now move into lane, the buffs are, the jungle camps are now spawning, and the teams are now going, and the match has begun. We see, starting off the bat immediately, we see both sides going for their red buffs again, as Kaiza moves straight, Kaiza and Alistar moving down towards bot side. Irelia does help Jarvan with that early leash, as Irelia now moves up towards top side. Silas is a little bit more aggro in the early game. Rumble is just going to be trying to get as much aggro on as possible with his flamethrower. So until Irelia does hit level 3, Irelia does get a pretty big power spike at level 3. So Rumble's going to try to take as much advantage of that as possible. See Kale is now level 2 in the mid lane. Rumble just going in for that very early poke, very early aggro. Again, Silas and Kale trading mid lane. Silas is taking advantage, being that early lead, you know, that early successful trading. Jarvan about to die to the jungle camp there, having to back off from those raptors. Signing now immediately back in lane. Bot side pushed up about evenly. Rumble again doing a lot of damage there with that flamethrower onto Irelia. Reagan then auto attacks off, though, going to try and do some early trading there, doing a lot of damage in return to Rumble once getting her Conqueror procs off, or Conqueror stacks. Rumble again with that flamethrower, using it on the Irelia, a lot of damage there. Silas is pushed up under his tower now, so he's going to have to play a little more defensive. He does have the ability to turn around pretty easily onto Kale here if you decided to. Does get her stun off onto Rumble. She's going to go back in on it with the shield is up on Rumble now. He's going to try and, you know, run away. Between the two top laners, Irelia is down on health pretty low. Although she does have the ability to turn around on Rumble if she needed to. She does now decide she is going to take a lot of damage, forcing her to flash away now. She did play a pretty dangerous game there and force her to make her use her flash to get away from Rumble, who might be going for a tower dive. Nope, he goes to E, but does not hit it as she backs just in time to avoid it. We see Yi moving down towards bot side jungle now. A lot of wards from Wolfe County here. More wards I've seen in the early game than usual. Silas does land the E onto Kale as she's going to try and run away. Yi does move back towards mid lane, going to try and defend his mid lane. Silas going to have to watch out there. He won't be able to, he might not be able to win this trade 1v2 this early, so. He goes for his Raptors now, as Jarvan does the same. Irelia does return to lane now. Did not decide to use her teleport there, just decided to walk back up, assuming, you know, after Rumble backed. Rumble also walking back to lane as well. Kaiza and Alistar keeping some pretty heavy pressure down on the bot side, As Jarvan maybe going down for an early gank here. He does go down for the gank. The EQ not going to connect onto Kale as she manages to just narrowly walk away. Decent attempt by him to gank there, but again, him missing that knockup just made it a big issue. Kaiser, or the Braum Q not going to connect with Kaiser there. As Kaiser gets her W off. The stun not going to connect with Rumble either. Auto attacks from Irelia onto Rumble there. As he gets his overheat, being a big issue for him. He would out-trade her in auto attacks, but the stun is going to connect onto Rumble as the first blood is secured by Irelia on Rumble there. So a good on Rumble there for that, or good on Irelia there for that early trade to win that fight. That stun definitely being a big problem for Rumble there in that fight. Alistar going with the knockup, going to land it on Lucian there. The stun going to be proc off on Braum as he dashes towards Lucian to get away. We see Silas now towards mid lane. Kale is below half HP, so Silas could go in on her, but he would need to use his ult to take her ultimate to be effective. The Q going to miss on Kale. See Jarvan moving back up towards mid lane. Kaiser moving towards her, or Kale moving towards her, the bot side of her mid lane, or bot side bush. Silas pushed back in lane a little bit now. Irelia now moving back up to lane. Silas narrowly missing the Q there. Silas is currently pretty low on mana, so if he wanted to go in on Kale, he does decide to dash away, being pretty safe, probably assuming the fact that Yi was there. We see the ult onto Rumble there. Rumble forced to flash away. Irelia with the dash as well, going to connect. Going to be able to out-trade Rumble there very well in the top lane, so good trade there on Irelia. By the way, Kale has reached level 6. I want to point that out. Kale has reached level 6. Now her auto attacks, after every 5 auto attacks, will be ranged. So, Rumble or Silas will have to watch out for that. Lane now for Wolf King has pushed up pretty far. Yellow Jackets are currently under their tower now on their bot lane. Kale has backed as Irelia does move through mid lane towards bot side, maybe looking for a gank down towards bot, or maybe looking for a first dragon. We see Yi, Lucian, and Braum moving towards Drake now. Wards are dropped there, control ward put down. So the Yellow Jackets do know that Wolf King does have vision of the dragon, as Yellow Jackets do go to remove that control ward, now claiming their vision of that dragon. Irelia now is in the mid lane, as it looks like they decided to swap lanes. So we do see Irelia is now in the mid lane fighting Kale, as Rumble moves, or as Silas is up towards top lane fighting against Rumble. So an interesting turn of events. This is the first time I've seen Wolf County swap lanes, to say the least. Rumble, or Silas does steal Rumble's ultimate, so he is getting ready to make use of that. If he does go in, he should be able to do some pretty successful trades if he goes in and uses that ultimate. We see Irelia moving towards top lane now, as Rumble does have vision. Is he going to back off, or is he going to stay in? We see Silas with the E as well. The second he's going to connect, he does. The stun does connect. Rumble ult stolen from Silas, used onto him. Irelia with that dash going to secure that kill on Rumble now. Silas and Irelia working very well together there. Good for both of them to land those. Alistar going with the knockback to land it on both Lucian and Braum, as the stun's going to connect onto Lucian, the ignite from Lucian. Kaiser with that ult onto Lucian. Going to get stunned under tower, though. The Q is going to be able to finish her off, as Jarvan and Yi. Meanwhile, Jarvan does secure the dragon, stealing it from Master Yi. So, good plays from Wolfcan right now. Turnaround, an immediate turnaround from that last game. Jarvan does dash onto Yi, as the ult from Kale is going to secure, or going to try and save, even not being enough, as we see Kale does secure the kill on Jarvan. Kaiser going to try and follow him from the side there, as Kaiser is going to be able to get away, sadly. Kaiser did secure that kill on Jarvan, but not to the avail of Yi getting taken down as well. So, good plays on Wolf County here. Good plays. Irelia now moving down towards mid lane now. She does flash ult onto Kale now. The stun is going to connect. She gets both dashes off, securing another kill. Irelia currently sitting at 4-0 at less than 10, just at 10 minutes into the game. The gold difference now in favor of Wolfe County, about a 3,000 gold lead in favor of Wolfe County, with a 6-1 kill difference and an Infernal Drake in their grasp. The East does connect onto Rumble, does get hit by the Silas E. The burst damage from Silas, crazy. That electrocute proccing off with that W from Silas. Just crazy amount of damage there. Wolfe County currently sitting in a very steep lead at this point in the game. But again, it is too early to tell. It could turn around against their favor at this point. But they do have an early advantage, so they want to take as much advantage of that as possible. With a goal lead of about 4,000. As it looks like Wolfe County is now going for their first objective, or not? They're going for the Rift Herald. So Yi does not have vision of it, so Wolfe County should be able to secure that pretty easily without any resistance. Irelia goes in from the dash. She's going to hit onto Irelia. The stun connecting on the Kale now. Irelia just doing disgusting damage. Just Kale not be able to do anything against her right now, as Wolfe County's just shredding them at this point. Silas does remove that ward from the bush now. His control ward aiding in doing so. Wolfe County does have a huge vision favor of it. As we see Kaiser now coming from the side. The ult from Kaiser going to be able to secure the kill on Braum. Alistar with some good knockups there. Meanwhile, he smashed Yi ulting mid lane. Rift Herald is going to sadly be taken down, but not before Wolfe County does get a good chunk of damage on that tower. So, not the best use of Rift Herald there, but nonetheless good on them for that. As we see Rumble now pushing Silas forced back now up top lane as he decides to back. You see Rumble trying to push lane up. Not be able to do much about it. Silas does have Rumble's ult now, as he could probably go in and win a successful trade against Rumble, even at half health. He is 2 levels up on Rumble, so that is a big issue for Rumble if he tries to go in on him. I'll start taking some damage there from Lucian, but not before Kaiser is able to get another turret plating for the both of them. Braum dashes to the side of Lucian to try and get a little bit of help there, but not being able to do anything there. We see Irelia going in for another ult. The ult from Kale onto Kaiser, or the ult from Kale onto herself. Irelia narrowly missing her stun, but forcing an ult out of Kale definitely worth it for a whiffed ability. Silas getting a Q off. Both Qs connecting onto Rumble there. A lot of damage there from Silas, sorry, onto Rumble. You'll see Braum now removing a control ward in the tri-bush as Irelia continuously pushes up the mid lane, going for his red buff. Rumble going to remove the control ward. We see Silas dashing in, not going to connect, sadly. As we might see him going over the wall here into his jungle. We see Rumble running away now through his topside jungle back to lane as Silas is pushed up, missing the Rumble E. Kale, and we look for a 3-man convergence in the mid lane. Now we see the Q-E combo from Jarvan as the ult from Kale coming from the side, or from Kaiser, sorry. And Alistar, though, securing that kill. But nonetheless, a kill on for there. So let's go and check the difference in the CS real quick. Wolfe County, Irelia with about a 50 CS lead versus Rumble. We did notice, though, they did swap lanes at the moment. So between the laners, Silas sitting about 30 CS up on Rumble. Jungler sitting about even. Irelia and Kale sitting about even, actually. We see Irelia with the ult down bot lane onto Lucian and Braum. The ult from Braum starting to stop Irelia, but not going to do enough as Irelia's just dashing far too much. She does dash on a Braum. She's going to try and get this 1v2 off successfully. She's going to be able to do it, as she is narrowly going to get that with that Tiamat. So, good damage there. Good, a 1v2 successful trade on Irelia there on Wolfe County. So Wolfe County now to a far different score compared to that last game. So Wolfe County definitely turning it around from that last game. So good on them. We do see Yi coming top lane now, going for another gank. We see Rumble throwing the ultimate there as Yi also ults. Kaiser going to come from the side. Yi still with that ultimate going on to Kaiser, but not going to do enough as Kaiser's able to burst down. Alistar is going to get that ignite. Almost going to kill Yi there as Kaiser's going to try and come from the side. She does flash with a Q to secure that kill on Yi, though. Wolf County does, meanwhile, on the other hand, securing another Infernal Drake. So 2 Infernal Drakes definitely is a good thing. Alistar laying the knockup as well. Silas going to get that Q off to secure that kill on Rumble, as Wolf County does secure their 3rd turret of the game. A huge different game, a completely different game versus that last one for Wolf County. Again, making a lot of plays, a lot of shots here being called on Wolf County, doing a lot. So, going on Wolf County here. We see Jarvan moving down bot side now, going behind Braum, but deciding to immediately turn off. We do see him deciding to go back in now. Kale is moving towards bot side, as Irelia also sits. Lucian backing in the bush. Maybe looking for a 2v2 here from Wolf County's jungler in the top lane. Silas moving down from top lane, now back towards maybe going to try and secure some more farm. As Kale goes to drop a control ward to the bush, maybe looking for a back baiting by Jarvan here, as Irelia goes up, trying to get really aggressive now. 3 people, we see Rumble now, Braum and Kale move towards Irelia now. Irelia having to... we see 4 people. Kai'Sa coming from the side. We see Silas, a 5-man coming in. Jarvan with that ult on 3 people. The ult from Kai'Sa being able to secure. Silas does steal the ult, throwing it onto his Irelia, who does manage to secure another kill. Irelia securing Lucian. Kai'Sa killing Braum. Jarvan with a kill on Rumble now. The entirety of Wolf County shredding them. The only person alive at the moment being Kale. Jarvan is going to, again, being a little aggro, going for that potentially. Alistar taking some tower shots there. Jarvan's going to EQ away from it. Almost dying to tower there, taking a lot of damage. Guys coming from the side there. We see the Demolish rune procced off from, I'm assuming Irelia. I know Braum has it, or Alistar has it too, but Irelia now pushing, being very strong now against them. They're just currently sitting at a score of 8-0. Irelia being a major power, or major damage boost for Wolf County as well, but not her the only one. Wolf County's mid laner as well. Silas being 3-0, a large damage boost as well. Coming also from the bot lane with Kai'Sa being 5-0. So a lot of damage coming out of Wolf County here. Scores 18-1 with a 12,000 gold lead in favor of Wolf County with 2 Infernal Drakes as well as 4-0 turret difference. We'll check here momentarily and see what drag is coming up. It looks like an Cloud Drake will be coming up in a moment. So, Cloud Drake will be spawning here as the next one. Wolf County will clear that for that extra, movement speed and stuff. As we see Irelia now pushing up towards mid lane. Alistar joining her. We see Kai'Sa and Silas pushing towards top lane. Irelia getting some of that, Kai'Sa getting some of that jungle farm to get some of that CS up. Jarvan, Alistar, and Irelia now moving towards bot side. We see Lucian and Braun trying to split push that bot lane, but not being able to do much. As you see, it looks like Wolf County's ADC, or Wolf County's Irelia, Alistar, and Jarvan are going to converge onto them. As we see Irelia coming in from the side, the dash from Lucian, the W from Irelia, we see the first E going to hit the second one onto Lucian's going to connect. Irelia does get the dash off. She's going to get ulted onto Lucian, be able to absolutely demolish him. Jarvan going to try and take down Braum. He's going to try and run away as the dash from Alistar secures the kill on Braum with a 20-1 score right now in favor of Wolf County with a 13,000 gold difference. It looks like for right at the moment, again, we see Silas coming from the side. The dash is not going to connect onto him as we see Kale just doing a lot of damage. Silas missing his abilities probably didn't help in that situation. He's looking for a turnaround here. The ult, she is going to miss her Q though. So Kale does miss her Q. Although she is going with an AD build? No, she's AP. Alistar with the knockup landed on Rumble. We see Rumble with the ultimate onto them. Alistar, or the ignite on Alistar, going to secure the kill on Yi there. As we see the ult from Kale is going to land. Silas with the Q going to secure that kill. We see Alistar taking a lot of damage from Rumble there. Rumble's going to secure that kill. We see a stopwatch from Rumble as the dash is going to be avoided as well. I really know managing to take out the kill on Rumble. Scores 23-2. Braum and Lucian trying to defend the lane. Irelia does get the stun, landed onto both Lucian and Braum. The smite from Jarvan as well going to take too much damage as Irelia also secures the kill on Braum. Silas pushing top lane with Kai'Sa going to get that second top lane tower as Jarvan and Irelia is going to get this bot lane inhibitor turret as well as potentially getting this first inhibitor. It looks like Wolf County will secure that bot lane inhibitor now. As they do push top lane, Yi is going to try and alpha strike onto... Yeah. See Aurelia and Jarvan now pushing back in the lane as Yi and Rumble push up as well. Kaiser now pushing back in the lane. The score is 20 to nothing. Let's go and check the 20 minutes right now. The score is currently 25-2 with a 15,000 gold lead in favor of Wolfe County with a 7 to nothing turret difference. Jarvan now meanwhile going for that air drake as I mentioned earlier. We see Braum, Lucian, Yi, and Kale all pushing. The entirety of the Yellow Jackets pushing up mid lane now. As he goes to clear some wards out of his jungle. Wolfe County now all teleporting. We see a teleport coming into mid lane from Aurelia, who does have a GA, by the way. So she was already a pretty big threat as it was, being 11-0, sorry. And now having that GA just makes her even more of a threat with that fact that she was not going to die if she does fall in a fight. We do see Kaiser with the W, going to throw it onto Yi, not going to connect anything, or just trying to throw it in Yi's direction, but not going to be able to connect anything. As it looks like they are going for the Baron. Wolfe County now converging on the Baron now, as the rest of the Yellow Jackets have to be defensive, trying to push all 3 lanes back out. Wolfe County will be able to secure a completely uncontested Baron, adding on to the already impressive lead that they had.
Well, this is going to give them the strength they need to push into their base and try to end the game here, because Baron gives them a huge buff, and it helps super minions too, because there are super minions that are in the bot lane right now.
You see now Wolfe County pushing up, all running down mid lane, getting ready for that one big fight that's about to go down. That's going to be inevitable here in a moment. You see Kale, Lucian, and Braum trying to hold off the lane. We see Silas moving up. We see Kaiser going for that blue buff as Alistar follows her. Kaiser secures blue buff, no problem. Jarvan, we see Rumble, or Aurelia securing red buff in the top lane meanwhile. Silas trying to get that push up mid lane for the rest of his team to follow up with as Yi and Rumble try and push that dot lane back out. We see Alistar coming from the side. Kaiser with that dash. Alistar with the knockback, going to land on Rumble. Kaiser's Q just bursting down Yi without any bit of hope for him to be saved. Meanwhile, Wolfe County all now converging on bot lane. Aurelia pushes back mid lane, trying to get that wave push back out. We see Alistar, Silas, and Kaiser now pushing up the mid lane. As Yellow Jackets are pushed up another tower, Silas does take the Kale ult because he's looking for a dive here from his teammates. We see the Q here. We see the Aurelia ult onto there. We see the ult from Kale, Silas, Aurelia flashing to the side. The ult from Silas stolen, thrown onto Aurelia. As you see Braum just getting shredded under his own tower. The ignite from him going to be taking as Aurelia secures that kill. We see Aurelia coming from the side. The Yi ult Aurelia going to be able to secure that kill sadly, but Aurelia also gets that trade back. So as Wolfe County managed to just completely shred that Nexus and end the game, making it 1-1.
And yes, the Wolves Blue come away victorious. So we'll be back in just a moment with your player of the game. All right, so we're going to be joined here with our player of the game, Cody Sargent. Congratulations, good job on a victory there in game number 2. We're not done. We're tied 1-1.
Yep.
But now, so what was your thought process in that second game, and how did you play differently than the first game?
Well, we had our mid laner play a lot more passive because their last game their mid lane was really annoying. So we made them play a little bit passive, and the bot lane was doing good. And Matt was helping us out. We got the Tryndamere out of the way. As soon as I got that Tryndamere out of the way, I know I could kill him. I couldn't kill him with that Tryndamere because he's unkillable. Once we got that out of the way, I got like 1 kill, and I was like, oh, I got this. And I just snowballed with a 2 kill, and then we was like, all right, I'll go mid lane on the.
You finished 13-0 in that matchup. One of your better matches. I mean, that was so impressive.
What really helped us out though was that whenever I got my lead, I went mid lane and put Brendan top. That way I could take out their hardest objective because I'm already ahead, and it really helped us out because Brendan popped off top lane, and I just shut down their mid laner.
All right. Well, congratulations there on game number 2. We better get back at it. We'll need to start game 3 here in just a few minutes. So we want to thank everybody for joining us, and stick around for game number 3 starting in just a few moments.